Alfred Adler, a contemporary of Freud and a core member of the Vienna Psychoanalytic Society, had an extensive impact on psychology, both in the early 1900s and continuing into today's contemporary psychiatric society. Known for the development of the term inferiority complex, which is depicted as either a feeling of weakness stemming from childhood or the inability to advance to the goal of feeling secure in one's life, Adler also progressed the idea of individual psychology, or seeing the person as a whole rather than segmented into separate issues. Born in Vienna in 1870, Adler was the second child out of 7 and the most sickly of his brothers and sisters. Developing rickets early on, Adler couldn't walk until age 4. Having overheard a doctor tell his father that Adler was lost during a bout of pneumonia, Adler decided to become a doctor. Adler went on to study at the University of Vienna, first focusing on optometry before moving to psychiatry. He graduated in 1895 and married a Russian social activist shortly thereafter. Adler started his career working with circus people, a choice that most likely helped him solidify his concepts on inferiority and superiority, seen in the flesh with the extreme cases of strengths and weaknesses witnessed in the sideshow performers. After this start, Adler moved on to more prolific achievements. He was formally invited to join the Vienna Psychoanalytic Society by Freud and became the president for a run of 8 years. Eventually, things went sour between Adler and the group, especially between him and Freud, as Adler's opinions on psychology deviated from Freud's ideas, and Adler left to start his own society more focused on psychiatry of the whole being. Adler's Society for Individual Psychology quickly gained popularity, and his hope was to promote the idea of holistic social well-being to the highest regard in psychological circles, and eventually to even supplant the current ideas of counseling individual issues and traits with his own approach. Adler was the first to replace the couch most commonly seen in doctors' offices with 2 chairs, the office becoming a safe and welcoming place where the doctor and the patient could come together as equals to work through the patient's issues together, rather than the patient coming to the doctor to get fixed. Adler also began developing ideas of different personality types and the types of lifestyles those personalities tended to lead, called styles of life. These styles reflected how a person interacted with their own life, specifically friendship, love, and work. Unfortunately, in the 1930s, many of Adler's clinics in Austria had been closed due to his Jewish heritage, and Adler left Austria for the United States, taking a position at the Long Island College of Medicine. While on a lecture tour in Scotland in 1937, Adler died of a heart attack, and the name of his son, Kurt, was the last word on his lips. He was cremated in Scotland, but his ashes were never acquired, and it wasn't until 2011 that his remains were returned to Vienna and buried. Adler's beliefs and techniques fell out of practice after his death, but not for long, with another psychologist, Rudolf Dreikurs, taking over the helm and developing Adler's concepts into a method for understanding children's behavior. The flame of Adler's ideas continues on today, with his ideas of psychology, personality, and inferiority still being practiced.